It just says barracks. And you can see a couple guards leaned up on posts, and they see you, and they're like,
Or would it say sheriff?
um, no, it's less of a sheriff, more of a guard captain. So it'd be barracks, yeah. But they're like, what? The guards outside the barracks are like, what's all this then? And they gesture towards you.
I was trying to help an old man who got bucked off of his horse and broke his arm, and possibly even suffered a concussion. I tried bringing him into town, and the entire time he was referring to me as some sort of specter of death. Which, I'm not going to lie, was kind of an insult to me. You know, my complexion. I know I'm a little pale, but God.
You see that?
And when I got into town, he insisted that I'm some sort of shape-shifting freak. And now I've been arrested, and my pretty dress has been sullied in the mud.
You see the two guards who have you in their shackles kind of look at you, and they look back and they look at the other guards and they say, story's not adding up. Something's off. Tulpa.
What do you mean?
Tulpa looked hurt, and I've never seen this woman before in my life.
He got bucked off of his horse in the rain and broke his arm, and I just so happened
Make another deception check.
Huh?
Make another deception check.
30.
That's not a lie, though.
Well, it is a lie because he was responsible.
I'm not telling the exact events that happened.
If he
but
was
still, I got a 30.
A 30, yeah. The guards say, I don't have time for this. She seems fine. Just let her go. Another guard's like, yeah, but Tulpa. And they're like, and you hear someone coming from inside, and the door throws open, and you see a small gnomish woman with a great sword on her back kind of step out and go, what the hell's going on? And you can see she's like rubbing sleep out of her eyes.
I have been falsely accused of assault and dragged through the mud, when all I was trying to do was help an old man who got bucked off of his horse and possibly even suffered a concussion. And this is how I'm treated in your town?
You see, she kind of looks you up and down and says, who the hell are you?
Don't you know who I am?
Obviously not, or you wouldn't have been arrested.
I am one of the greatest bards of all time.
Octavia.
Make a deception check.
32. I have advantage on deception checks when I'm trying to convince them I'm someone else.
She kind of like rubs her temples and says, she looks like she's not a problem. Just let her go. I'm not in the mood. Just keep an eye on her. If she does anything out of the ordinary, fucking kill her. I don't know.
Fucking kill her. I don't know. This person's real tired.
The guards kind of like, and they kind of like unshackle you.
What about my dainty wrists and my femininely wiles?
They kind of just look at you and say, just don't cause any trouble. If you're telling the truth, we'll get it out of Tulpa. Maybe he did hit his head, maybe he didn't. Or maybe you're not telling us everything. Just go to the tavern, get yourself cleaned up. And kind of she points to the two guards and says, just keep an eye on her. Don't let her out of your sight. If she does anything funny, arrest her again. Or if she does something real bad, I don't know, beat her to unconsciousness. And then she goes back inside.
I'm going to use prestidigitation to clean my dress, but the way it looks like my dress catches fire and I'm just engulfed in flames. And I'm going to be like, ah! And then once the flames are gone and my dress is clean, I'm going to be like, oh, wow, I feel so refreshed.
It's like you're trying to get arrested.
Yeah.
As you do this, they begin panicking, like, oh, she's caught on fire. And then
I'm fine.
The fire dissipates and they've got their blades out and they say, what the fuck are you?
It's one of those self-cleaning dresses. It's very violent when it happens.
You feel the shackles. You feel the shackles go back on your bony hands.
You could just tell them it was prestidigitation.
I wasn't trying to. What happened? Why am I being arrested again? I was just cleaning my dress. Well, technically, it was cleaning itself.
You just burst into flames
That happens.
after bringing a man into town who claimed you attacked him. You're going to jail, and they start bringing you inside the barracks.
I'm having hot flashes.
Wait a minute. How is me catching fire a crime?
You're perfectly fine. The fire didn't even hurt you.
And I've committed what crime that I should be incarcerated when I burst into flames and then unharmed, and no one else was harmed as a fact of the matter? Show me where it says that is illegal.
Make a-
where I cannot burst into
Make a
flames
persuasion
and be unscathed.
Make a persuasion check.
What kind of backwater town is this? 23.
They go, look, whatever you just did, don't do it again or we'll arrest
Well,
you.
I will hope it will never happen again, but I was the one who dragged myself through the mud.
They like unshackle you, and they like take 2 steps back and say, just do what you gotta do, then get the fuck out of our town.
That's great. Also, I have a question because you boys seem like you know what you're doing. I am particularly looking into town because I have come across a very, very interesting set of lyrics. And I was wondering if anyone could help me transcribe what language they could possibly be in because I can't seem to figure it out myself.
Hugo and Mars back at the mansion are just like, they shiver and they're just like, oh, well, guess everything's back to normal.
Yeah, Mars breaks out into a rash.
There it is again. There it is.
So I'll make them, I don't know, they're gonna roll for it.
God.
They're like, is that all you came here for?
Yes, of course. Why else would I come to this town?
Well, that's a good question.
To be arrested? Is that one of the things you do here for fun?
At this point, you notice a small crowd has began to gather around you.
Hello, everyone.
And the guards are like, they're looking confused at what to do. And they're like, just...
Yes, everyone, please. I have a very important question to ask. I, here in my possession, contain a book. A very magical book. Well, at least I hope it's magical. I'm not quite sure. But this book that I...
Going into every random fucking stranger after I just said not to do that.
This book contains in it information written in a language that I don't understand. And I, the grand and fabulous bard Octavia, am trying to have it figured out, but I need someone who's very, very smart to come over here and help me try to transcribe and figure out, may possibly even decipher what this language could possibly be. But these big, scary guards dragged me through town and ruined my pretty dress.
Make a persuasion check.
23.
The crowd kind of looks around, and they just kind of start to disperse as the guards usher them away.
Can't anyone help me?
And the guards are like, look, no one in town is going to be able to decipher anything like that. This is like a backwaters town. What do you want? If you're looking
is
for
there
someone...
anyone that's like nearby that lives in some sort of like wizard tower or something?
No, but you could always try the Graveweaver house. They got tons of information on them.
The Graveweaver house.
Yeah, just down the
I
road.
must find there. Yes, the elephant Laxodon
Just
people.
if I'd steer clear for a while, especially after what happened to Tulpa, and they kind of look at you and say, "We don't." I'm only saying this because I kind of want you out of my fucking town. But
You're certain there's no one in town that can help me, and you're not just saying this to get me out?
make an insight check.
28.
He seems to be on the fence. He wants you out of his town. But he's also holding back something.
Please, I assure you that the quicker I can get this information, the quicker I can leave. But the longer I stay, I can assure you, I will legally, within my rights of how this town works, be the biggest nuisance that you can't do anything about.
Make an intimidation check.
Natural 20 for a 29.
He's like, this is not my day. Fine. There's an old guy, he lives down the road here called, called Hephaestus.
Hephaestus. Hephaestus. Does he have a gimp leg?
No, he's perfectly healthy.
Oh, he came
Oh my
off
gosh,
fine.
Uncle Hephaestus?
Yeah, Uncle Hephaestus. The one who Mom picked up after he was born and threw into a pit because he was slightly disfigured.